let them know that if they want to turn their camera on, we're about to start the heads and tails game. Well, good afternoon and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining the Boy Scouts of America very first virtual Pillars of Scouting Gala. We're excited that y'all are here, whether you're at home, at your office, whether you've decked out for the evening, or if you're sitting there in your most comfortable sweat outfit. We're glad you're here. I'm Chuck Mutz, Benefit Auctioneer Specialist. I'm going to help get us through the beginning part of the program all the way up until the point where we hand it over to Jeff for the honoring of Mr. Linton and Mr. Charles. So at 6:30, we promised we'd start the scavenger hunt. So let's go ahead and jump right on into that fun little scavenger hunt. Now, for those of you that have never been to Carrabba's, Kyle at the Carrabba's on Veterans has donated a $50 gift card for the winner of our scavenger hunt. So what you're simply going to need to do is find the item, bring it back to your room host, let her or him see that item. If you're the first person to bring that item up to the screen, we're going to give you 3 tickets. Everybody else that shows that item, you're going to get a single ticket. So all you have to do is grab something and play along. So, also, for those of you that are bidding on your phone, we greatly appreciate you doing that. And it looks like we just got a new purchase coming in. So thank you for that. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and jump right onto the scavenger hunt. The first thing that we're going to ask you to go look for, since everybody should be in the scouting world, is a scouting handbook. So you've got 30 seconds to go find a scouting handbook and show the screen. On your marks, get set, go. Go find a scouting handbook and show us your scouting handbook. All right, 29 seconds. You know what? We should have put a timer on the bottom of the screen. We'll make sure we do this for the next one. All right. David must not have a scouting handbook handy where he is. Otherwise, looks like Ken is he's got this. Is that a scouting handbook? Oh, there we go. Congratulations, Ken. Now, Chad, if you've got one somewhere, no, you can't print it out real quick. That's all right. We've got a couple of other items to go. All right, so our next item to go find, a Sharpie or any kind of marker. So go find a Sharpie or a marker of any sort. This we should all have in our office at our desk. Brandy's looking for, Ken's got it already. Okay, now, there we go. David's got one. Come on, Chad, Brandy's got one in her room. All right, and we've got Matt and Erica. They're in the Weeblo in the bear room, so that's okay. All righty, our next thing for us to find, we're just going to zip right on through this. A soup ladle. So for those of you that are at home, surely you've got a soup ladle somewhere. If you're at the office, maybe you don't have you have to run down to the kitchen to find a soup ladle. Chad, I see grins on your face. No soup ladle there. No worries. All righty. And Pam, your camera's off, so I'm not able to see you. So if you got the soup ladle, you got to show it. All righty. Now, the reason why you see me looking off into space is here at the studio, we have a lot of monitors so we can see everybody in the room and all the different breakout rooms. Oh, we've got a soup ladle. Looky there. Fantastic. All righty. And yes, you can chat in the chat room. Of course, I'm not able to see the chat, but your room host too. All righty. So let's move along to the next item because we're going to have to do the heads and tails really quick. So the next 2 items, tell you what, a measuring tape and a pocket knife. So let's find a measuring tape and a pocket knife. And Ken is off to the races. David is looking. He might have it. That counts. There we go. All righty. Super duper. And hey, we're going to need that tape measure later on to make sure we're all being 6 feet distant. And Ken is off looking for the other 2 items. I have a feeling he's going to come back with both of them. All righty. Let's go ahead and keep on rolling. The next item. Anything seersucker, ladies and gentlemen. If you've got a seersucker suit, pants, dress, There you go. Thank you, David. I see it up there. Good deal. All righty. And Chad has nothing seersucker on him right now. That's okay. Pam, you're not showing us much right. Oh, there we go. Fantastic. All righty. Erica, Matt, if you got it, you can play along as well. All righty. And next item, a set of sunglasses. And tell you, for time constraint, let's go ahead and a traditional flashlight. Not your phone, but a traditional flashlight. There we go. Thank you, David. There we go. There's some sunglasses. All righty, Erica, you got sunglasses as well. There we go. Super awesome. Okay, there we go. All righty. Okay. To make sure that we stay on point and on time, let's bring up that list again. There we go. So any of these items, if you've got them, go ahead and grab them real quick, show them, make sure that we got, oh, look at that. That is, look at that old lantern flashlight. Oh, Ken, how long have you been Scout, sir? What did he say, Noel? Because I'm not able to hear him. No worry. Yeah. You press the space bar on your computer if you want to speak, and that way we can hear you. Oh, that's phenomenal. All righty. Well, we're glad you're here tonight. All righty. The next thing we're going to do, now normally we would have our brand ambassadors covering the room selling the LED necklaces for 20 bucks. And this is the heads or tails game. Bradley, do you have that quarter? It's in my bag right there in the front part. Alrighty, so what we would do, we'd sell the LED necklaces for 20 bucks. Everybody would play, they'd put their hand on their head or their hand on their, well, tail. Well, because I can't see you folks right now, all I can see is your head up. We're going to play heads and hearts. It's real simple. I'm going to flip the coin. I'm going to ask you to put your hand on your head or on your heart. By process of elimination, we'll have one person left standing, or in this case, still in the room participating. Oh, Bradley, we got it. Oop. Butterfingers. There we go. So it's real simple. Now, since we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we've got about 9 people participating, we might be jumping into the live auction a little bit faster than what we normally do. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, what I need you to do is put your hand up. And on the count of 3, you're going to put your hand on your head or on your heart. All righty, so on the count of 3, ready? 1, 2, 3, go. All right. If your hand is on your head, you're still participating. It's head. So, Chad, you're still playing. And Pam, your camera's off, so we're not able to see if you put your hand on your head or on your tail. Oh, and we've got JBL. JBL, did you have your hand on your head? Were you still participating? We've got somebody else in a breakout room. I'm not sure if they are able to hear me. All righty. Wow, that was the fastest heads or tails game that I have ever played. So, Chad, congratulations. We're going to send you that $50 gift card to Carrabba's, courtesy of Kyle. So when you go to Carrabba's, please let Kyle know that you are a scout and you won this at the Pillars of Scouting event. Kyle has been very generous to the Boy Scouts of America. He's actually hosted several events for the Scouts. Last year, I was a member of one of the meetings that we had. I'm struggling for the name of that event.
Fundraiser.
The fundraiser. Super awesome. All righty. There we go, Jim. All right. So it is 6:42. Now, welcome, Jim. I understand that you're one of the honorees tonight. Good. Well, we're wonderful. We're happy that you're here with us tonight. So let's go ahead and roll right on into the live auction. And our first item up for bid tonight is, oh, we've already got past the heads and tails. All right, so now it's time for the live auction. So our first item up for bid tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is a quail or pheasant hunt and lunch for two at Covey Rise Lodge. This is the real sportsman's paradise. Covey Rise Lodge brings patrons a full-service hunting experience with deluxe cabin rentals, online dining, and resort-style amenities. This organization is a great place to have your corporate retreats, your team building events, family reunions, and getaways. All of these types of events and meetings, the folks at Covey Rise, they're experienced in this. So this is a quail or pheasant hunt, whichever you choose, at Covey Rise, as well as lunch for two before you head back that afternoon. So this is a priceless thing for you and your best friend to go hunting, quail or pheasant. The dates and times are to be agreed mutually with the folks at Quail Ridge. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start that, we have a featured item that we'd like to share with you. Now, this is a silent auction item that we'd like to share. So this is, I believe, item number 24. This is an over and under shotgun. Now, right now, the high bid on this is just over $400. This is a beautiful shotgun. So if you win a live auction for Covey Rise, maybe you want to make sure that you win this beautiful shotgun during the silent auction. All righty, so let's jump back to the live auction real quick. So this is the Covey Rise. Gentlemen, ladies, this is worth over $1,000, but we're going to start the bidding really low. It's not where we start, it's where we stop. We'll start the bidding at $250 for lunch for two and the quail or pheasant hunt at Covey Rise Lodge. I'm asking for a $250 opening bid. That's $250, ladies and gentlemen. Anybody bid $250? I have a $250 bid from anybody in the other rooms. Anybody $250? I have a $250 opening bid. Thank you, sir. $250 bid. Now $300 bill. Put a bid $300. $250 is our bid. Look for $300 bill. Anybody $300? Come on, guys. I know you want to go hunting. You've got to raise your hand so I can see you because I'm not able to hear you. Technology is wonderful, but I can't hear you, so I need to see you raise your hand. I have a $250 opening bid. Full bid $300 bill. I have a $300 bid. Anybody bid $300? Remember, we need two bids to make it a competing bid. $300. Thank you, sir. Now $3.5. $250 bid. Now $300. $300 bid. $3.5. $250 opening bid. $300. Now $350. Just to make sure everybody understands the math. $300 bill. Yvette, are you bidding $300? No, $350. $300 bid. $3.5. $300 bid. Now $3.5 bid. $3.5 bid. $3.5. $300 bid. Now $3.5. $300's going once, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking for $3.5 bid. $3.5. $300's going twice. Look for $3.5 bid. $3.5. Did we hit? I don't think we quite hit the minimum of where we needed to be. We really needed to hit another $100 bill. So tell you what, would you go ahead and make an extra $100 donation and we can do that magic word that starts with S that means that you've got it? Going once. We need $400 in order to sell this item. Going twice. Oh, and Dave LaRose logging in right now. Oh, and there's Charles as well. Good to see you, Mr. Charles. All righty. Our next item up for bid. This is item 102. This is an open cockpit airplane experience. This is a thrilling ride around New Orleans in the New Orleans Lady. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the, sorry. Alrighty. This is a thrilling ride around New Orleans in the New Orleans Lady, an open cockpit airplane. The Stearman is an authentic 1944 pilot training airplane. You'll be able to see New Orleans like you've never done before. You'll sit in the front seat as they go around the city of New Orleans. If you can take the G's, maybe the pilot will give you some extra experience. The Big Easy Wing is a newly formed organization officially designated by the Commissional Air Force, the CAF. These folks are designed to acquire and restore and preserve the World War II flying birds to make them back in the same condition they were back in World War II. So these things have been restored and they're beautiful and you'll have a phenomenal experience. Imagine taking this thing. It's a bi-wing plane, as you can see in the picture, around the city of New Orleans. Wave at all your friends. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for this experience, you get to, well, you don't get to pilot it, but you get to ride in it. Let's start this slow so everybody in the room can play along. We'll start the bidding at a nice low $100 bill. I'm looking for a $100 opening bid. Are you bidding or are you waving at your friend? I'm looking for a $100 opening bid, ladies and gentlemen. You bid a $100 bill for the open cockpit airplane experience around town in New Orleans. I'm looking for a $100 opening bid. Anybody a $100 bill? Looking for 100. I hate to ask for 50 just to get you guys to go ahead and bid, but will anybody like to bid $50 just to get the ball rolling? I'm looking for a $50 opening bid. We've got a $50 bid. Thank you so much. Now 100. 50 is an opening bid. I'm looking for a $100 bill. Anybody 100? 50 to bid, now 100 for the open airplane experience. This is going to be wind in your face and wind in your hair. $50 a bid. Looking for a $100 bill. Anybody at 100? Looking for 100. Anybody about 100? 50's going once, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking for a $100 bill. Anybody at 100? 50's going twice. Anybody at 100? Anybody at 100? Looking for 100. Last shot for 100. Sold for $50. Thank you so much. Give him a round of applause. All righty. Our next item up for bid is something that has never been offered before. This is the Camp V-Bar experience for 10. You can enjoy an overnight stay at Camp V-Bar in Mississippi. This includes a barbecue dinner for 10 folks, a campfire, sleeping overnight in the Jung Lodge accommodations. In the morning, you're going to be served a nice hot breakfast. You can explore the camp, hone your skills at the rifle and the shotgun ranges. The archery is there. If you want to have your kids make boulders out of duct tape and newspaper, they can go up to the castle facade and storm the castle. When I took my scouts there years ago, that's what we did. I have never seen my scouts sleep so soundly after an afternoon of storming the castle. Again, this is something that has never been offered by the scouts before, so this is your time to be the first one to ever bid and win this V-Bar experience. So again, 10 people. It doesn't have to be scouts. You can use it for a retreat. You can use it for your family. Now that we're all socially distanced, what a wonderful time to have you and 9 of your closest friends or your kids or your scouts to go out and enjoy the V-Bar experience, enjoy nature, and let those kids run around and wear themselves out. Ladies and gentlemen, I was told this was worth about a $1,000 bill. So let's start the bidding at half price. Who'll pledge $500? Do I have a $500 opening bid for an experience of 10 folks out at Camp V-Bar in Kiln, Mississippi? Anybody start the bidding at $500? I'm looking for a $500 opening bid, ladies and gentlemen. Anybody at 500? All right, we'll go down to 400 to see if we've got a bite. Anybody at $400 bill? Still seeing no movement. All right, we'll go down to 250 just one time. Who will pledge $250 for the Camp V-Bar experience for 10? Anybody bid 250? I'm looking for a $250 bill. Going once. Anybody bid 250? Going twice. I'm looking for a $250 bid. All righty. We'll go ahead and put that in the silent auction for later on this afternoon. And remember, the silent auction closes at 8 o'clock tonight. Now, there's 2 other special items that I'd like to share with everybody. One is a football that's been signed by the New Orleans Saints. So here is that awesome football right here. There we go. Erica's holding it up right there. It's been signed by almost every Saint on staff this year. We've got Drew Brees. We've got Taysom Hill. Cam Jordan is on there. Everybody signed it, and because we know that we're not going to be able to go enjoy the game in the Dome hopefully we will at the end of the year. But for right now, imagine watching the Saints on the television, having this ball to show your friends and other folks that are being able to come into your home that you've got everybody's name on that football. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is a silent auction item. Now, we do have one other featured silent auction item. We'll show that after we do our next live auction item. So our next live auction item, let's bring that on up. All righty. Our last live auction item, this is fishing with Sheriff. Wait a minute. I see a typo on there. It's not fishing with Sheriff Joe Lapinto. It's catching with Sheriff Joe Lapinto. That's right. You and your 2 best buddies get to go out on the boat with Sheriff Joe Lapinto for a morning or a mid-afternoon day of fishing inshore with Sheriff Joe Lapinto, and he has promised you're not going to go fishing. You're going to go catching. Of course, the dates are to be determined between your schedule and Sheriff Joe Lapinto's, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Every time Sheriff has done this for us, everybody's come back and said they really enjoyed the experience. Now, this is valued at well over $3,500, ladies and gentlemen, because after all, it's catching with the sheriff, not just fishing. So, gentlemen, ladies, Who would like to open the bidding? And again, it's not where we start, it's not where we start, it's where we stop. Who'll start the bidding at a nice round $500 bill? Do I have a $500 opening bid to go fishing with Sheriff Joe Lapinto? Who'll start the bidding at $500 bill? Anybody bid 500? We're $500 opening bid. Anybody bid 500? Let's ask for 400 then. Who'll bid $400 bill to go fishing with the sheriff? Or excuse me, to go catching with the sheriff? Who'll bid 400? I hate to ask for 300. Who'll bid $300 bill to go catching with the sheriff? Anybody bid $300 bill? 300's going once. 300's going twice. Oh, 300 snuck in there. All right, now 400. 300's our bid. Looking for $400 bill. We'll bid 400. 300 bid now 4. Looking for 4. 300 sneaking this in here. Boy, you are getting this at such a steal. You should almost feel ashamed of yourself, especially knowing that you're going out with the sheriff. But you've got the bid at $300. I'm looking for $400 bill. It'll bid 400. 300's going once. 300's going twice. And Tori, should we sell this at 300 or do we need to hold this back because, oh, we've got 400. Thank you. Oh, Charles, you got it at 400. Now, okay. So Charles, you got it at 4. Now we need 500. 4's the bid. Would have bid 5. 4's the bid. Now 5 would have been 5. You don't want to let Charles. He's one of the honorees. Don't make him spend his money. You need to give $500 and let the sheriff know that you spend your good, hard, tax-earned dollars. Well, maybe you're paying your taxes, but you making sure that he's going out there and catching fish with you. 400, Mr. Charles. I'm looking for $500 bill. 4's the bid. Look for 5. 4's the bid. Look for 500. 800. 5. 5. 5. Look for 5. Last shot for 5. 400's going once. 400's going twice. And you have stolen it, sir, for $400. Give Mr. Charles a round of applause. All righty. We have one more featured item that we'd like to showcase real quick. This, again, is another silent auction. This is silent auction number 24. This is a signed Pelicans team basketball with Zion Williams' signature. Zion's right there. He has been signing his autographs so small that his coach actually said, Zion, you need to put your signature on there the same way you play, big and bold. So the idea that you're going to be bidding on this signed team basketball with Zion's smaller than normal signature means that you can tell your friends that you got one of those basketballs before Zion realized just how big he can be in New Orleans. Again, this is silent auction item number 24. Oh, looky there. Somebody just bid on the football. So thank you so much. But this is item number 24. On your phone, place that bid. Make sure that you go home with this wonderful basketball. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We've got about 5 minutes before we're going to start our official program with Jeff Curie. So we've got a couple of things that we'd like to ask for. There are a couple of things that I'd like to invite my good friend, Mr. Torrijeda, with the Boy Scouts. He's going to join us right here, right now. And ladies and gentlemen, I understand that there are some things that the Scouts desperately need. As an example, we spend a lot of money every year for educational and promotional products, about $5,000, correct? And in Torrey, I also understand that there's a backhoe in Kiln, Mississippi that needs some repairs.
There is.
Okay.
And, that keeps our roads clear and safe travel.
All right. And when you're in Kiln, because when it rains hard, those roads can sometimes be impassable. So we need that backhoe to make sure that we can keep those roads safe and clear. And when we have those little disasters up there, we keep everybody safe. So those are just two of the examples that we've got. So at this point, we're looking for a 100% tax-deductible donation of $1,000. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you've got the ability to pledge $1,000, now you can do this on your phone if you'd like. You simply hit the little button where it says Donate Now, hit the green button, and enter that $1,000 donation. We need 5 people to pledge $1,000. And if you'd like to do it anonymously, you can also hit the little anonymous button and make sure that you make that pledge. We'll know that it's come in. It'll still be anonymous. Also, we need to keep the pool at camp operating clean and clear. And the cost that it takes to keep the pool clean and clear, Tori, that runs about $1,500, I understand.
$1,500 per month, Jeff.
50 per month. Awesome. And the pool is open for 6 months out of the year. So that's a whole lot of money. So ladies and gentlemen, we're asking for a $500 donation. A $500 donation from 10 folks will keep that pool clean and clear for several months to go. So if you'd like to raise your, we'll write it down. If you'd like to make that donation right from your phone, simply go to Donate Now, type in that 500, and you'll know that your $500 donation is keeping the pool that a lot of these kids have never had the experience to go swimming until they go to the Scouts. You'll keep that pool clean and clear. And as hot as it is right now, a lot of folks really want to use that pool. So that's what a $500 donation could do for the Scouts. Again, every donation goes into the general fund, but as an example, that backhoe needs to be repaired and we need to keep the pool clean. Also, since a lot of kids are out of school and the day camps are still open, Tori, I understand that it costs about $1,000 to send 10 kids to the day camps.
That's right. Our underprivileged kids, we have day camps, not this year, but a normal year. Next year, we'll have day camps available for them to go to.
And we need to make sure that we have the money in the budget to make sure that we can let those kids go. So imagine, ladies and gentlemen, $250 could help 2.5 kids go to the day camp. So we need lots of these. We need a lot of folks to pledge $250 to make sure that we can keep the day camps open for the underprivileged folks.
Chuck, actually, $250 was our match, if you haven't mentioned yet.
You know, that's right, Tori. I completely forgot. Due to a very generous donor, every pledge that comes in tonight, the 100% tax-deductible pledges, is going to be matched up to $15,000. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are thinking about pledging $500, know that that $500 pledge becomes $1,000. A $250 pledge becomes $500. So every pledge that comes in tonight, all the way until midnight, those pledges will be matched up to $15,000. So if you've ever considered being generous, this would be the time to be generous. And remember, the Boy Scouts of America needs your money way more than you do. Alrighty, our last thing that we're going to ask for is a $100 bill. For our disadvantaged Scouts, $100 will cover their uniform costs from head to toe, from their cap to their uniform, their shorts.
Shirt,
They have to
patches.
They have to earn those merit badges, though, correct?
They do.
So this would cover all of those merit badges that they are working so hard to earn. So, ladies and gentlemen, $100 is what we're looking for. If you can pledge $100, you'll know that that $100 is going to be matched by our very generous donor, and it becomes Jim Linton. Thank you so much. Oh, and Jim just pledged $200, which just became $400.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Jim. We greatly appreciate that pledge. He did it from his phone. And Gerard Shane, thank you for that generous donation right there.
Thanks, Jerry.
Yeah, those are popping up on the screen. If you can see that screen, we've got the leaderboard running, and we can see all those things popping up on the screen. Alrighty, and our last ask is $50. $50 helps in so many different ways as far as administrative costs in the office, having the IT staff, making sure that the internet is on and running, all of those little things that we just take for granted. Sometimes a case of copy paper or a case of envelopes, all of those things go into place. Kenneth Clem, thank you so much for that bid. We just saw it pop in. Thank you so much. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like it's right at 7 o'clock. I'm Chuck Mutz with Black Tie Auctions. We greatly appreciate everybody who's been on the line, on our Facebook page, and in all of our different breakout rooms. We greatly appreciate you coming and being a part of this evening's event. At this time, we're going to give everybody a few moments to go back into the Adobe Connect room. That's the first link that we sent out to you later on. And also, I believe that Noel and Brandy and everybody has sent that link in the chat room. Click on that link, go back into the Adobe Connect room. We believe that Jeff is going to be speaking in about 3 minutes. So again, I'm Chuck Mutz with Black Tie Auctions. We thank you so much for being a part of.
Chuck, make sure the silent auction closes.
Oh, thank you, sir. Also remember, we have up until 8 o'clock tonight for the silent auction. We will send out notifications at 7:30 and at 7:45 reminding everybody that. But please make sure that you donate to the silent auction as well. And if you would like to make a pledge, remember, every pledge that happens up until midnight is going to be matched up to $15,000. Alrighty, Tori, did I overlook her?
Chuck, you did a wonderful job, and I just want to thank everyone so much for this. We've raised well over $100,000, and thank you, Jim, for being honorees, and thank you, Pat, for doing such a wonderful job sharing the event. So everybody pre-recorded their messages, and we'll be able to pull that up in just a moment so you see the actual presentation of the Pillars of Scouting Award. Thank you.
Awesome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. Again, I'm Chuck Muth with Black Tie Auctions, thanking everybody for putting the fun in the fundraiser. And at this point, please go ahead and go on into Adobe Connect. Jeff is about to kick off in just a few minutes. Thank you so much, and we'll see you very soon.
Right now, life has us keeping our distance, but there's never been a more important time to come together. Scouting looks a little different than what we're used to, sure, but across the country, Scouts are coming together to learn, grow, and serve even while apart, because that's what Scouting has always been about. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Our culture is one of perseverance and determination. Our foundation is that of always being prepared. When you think about it, we've been preparing for times like these for over 100 years. Because for the past century, we've been pioneers, adventurers, helpers, scouts. Nothing can stop us. We've got this. We are Scouts.
On behalf of the Southeast Louisiana Council Boy Scouts of America, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the Pillars of Scouting Luncheon, honoring Jim Letton and Charles Nelson. Ladies and gentlemen, in a normal world, I would be telling everyone to find their tables right now and be seated at this time. But for tonight's virtual event, I welcome you to the computer screen. According to Merriam-Webster, a pillar is someone who is an important member of a group or an ideal or principle. These men have been pillars of strength and support for the Scouts for many years. It is fitting that we present Pillars of Scouting awards to these worthy individuals who embody the highest aspirations, integrity, and character, such as these gentlemen represent, and share their example to our young people. We will open our program with the Pledge of Allegiance and the Scout Oath.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Scout sign. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty, guide God and my country, and to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, and to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
It is my honor to introduce Dr. Paul Gregoire of the Baptist Theological Seminary right here in New Orleans and chaplain to the many national and world Scout jamborees.
Please prepare yourself to pray in the manner in which you're accustomed to praying. Our Heavenly Father, our gracious Lord, King of the universe, may we be blessed today as we realize the blessings that we have received. And now as we have come into this time of this banquet, we just ask now in a special way that we remember the blessings that we've received. May we be generous in the blessings that we give to others and to those who need it. Let us now be in a position to have this blessing bestowed upon others as they have been bestowed upon us. I ask that you consider that the Scout is reverent, and that as we pray today, that the reverency that we extend to others would be extended to us. Bless our families, bless our scouting events, and bless each and every one of us. Amen.
I would like now to introduce my sister, Pat Denishow, who has been a part of the Pillars event since its inception. Every great event needs a driving force to make it successful. Pat considered it an honor to chair this event to recognize Jim and Charles. Although when we were planning this event, we were expecting to do so at a magnificent luncheon, as in previous years, with over 350 friends in attendance and community and business leaders filling the Audubon Tea Room to congratulate Charles and Jim.
Thank you, Jeff. I am truly honored to be chairing for the first time ever the virtual Pillars of Scouting event. And we are honoring two very esteemed gentlemen and dear friends, Jim Letton and Charles Nelson. Their work on behalf of Scouting of Southeast Louisiana and on behalf of our whole community has been tireless and exemplary. Congratulations, Jim and Charles, so well deserved. I would like to thank my wonderful committee and the indefatigable Tori Hayden, Director of Development, for all of your help in supporting this program. Greatly appreciate you. And last but not least, I would like to say thank you to all of our supporters, our sponsors, all of you who have contributed to this event. Your much needed dollars will do so much to go toward the programs and the services of Scouting in Southeast Louisiana, and will enable almost 6,000 children in 11 parishes to benefit from all that Scouting has to offer. So thank you so very much.
Our first honoree is Charles Nelson. Charles is a former council president of the Southeast Louisiana Council Boy Scouts of America and current chairman of Waldemar S. Nelson and Company Incorporated Engineers and Architects. A multidisciplined design consultancy serving industry, government, and commercial interests since 1945. Nelson is currently one of the largest privately owned engineering firms in the state of Louisiana, employing approximately 300 engineers, architects, designers, and support staff, both in New Orleans and in Houston, supporting projects on 5 continents. A native of New Orleans, Charles is a graduate of the Georgia Institute of Technology, where he received his bachelor's degree in civil engineering in 1970. In 1974, he received his Master of Science degree in coastal and oceanographic engineering from the University of Florida. He is past president of the World Trade Center. He's a member of the Engineering Advisory Council of UNO, the Rotary Club of New Orleans, and he serves on the board of Southeast Louisiana Council of the Boy Scouts of America. He is married to the former Dorothy Duval of Houma, Louisiana, and they have 2 sons.
Well, first I'd like to thank the Southeast Louisiana Council for this award. I'm very honored to share this recognition with Jim Letton, who I've gotten to know through the Scout program, as well as the prior recipients, people like Jimmy Fitzmaurice and Frank Stewart, Ken Pickering, Joe Ignatius with the Whitney, and Bill Metcalf, Boise Bollinger, and then Bill Oliver, who unfortunately received this award posthumously, as I recall. But those were all really strong leaders, and I think truly the pillars that support the Southeast Louisiana Council. I kind of consider myself a smaller member of that community. Maybe I'm a strut that helps to hold up the pillars who are actually doing the heavy lifting there. But in preparation for this, Tori Hayden asked me to give a background as to why scouting has been important to me. And I've done that through a set of slides that I was able to pull together from different photo albums and catalogs and things, memorabilia. And it starts off really with this handbook. That handbook was published probably around 1918. The scouting organization started in 1910, so it had existed prior to that. But this was my dad's handbook for boys, which was the roadmap for how to go through the scout program as he did when he went all the way to become an Eagle Scout. This is a front cover of that. You can see his name written in the top, W.S. Nelson, and it really followed the rest of his career as he went through the scouting program. He was a member of Troop 22, which met at Lusher School, uptown New Orleans, and they formed themselves along a system of pine tree scouting, which was a camping technique, which I will get into in a moment. But it was interesting. I was told that at that time, say 1929, is when my dad joined Troop 22. It was about 3 years old at that time, and it had been formed because there was another uptown Troop 11, which the boys had tried to join, but it was full to capacity, and it was felt it was time to start another troop. So the leaders decided they were going to be twice as good as Troop 11, and that's how they chose the number Troop 22. The early leaders for that and the founders of Troop 22 are shown in this picture. The taller man on the left is Colonel V.J. Bedell, who was a veteran of the First World War and working in New Orleans at that time, 1920s, mid-20s and on, as an engineer, working for the Port of New Orleans and Public Belt Railroad, some other assignments in that time. And that's when he started the Troop 22 along with these other committee members. And as I said, he's retired military, and you can see the two fellows kneeling left and right they're in military uniform. So he, Colonel Bedell, no doubt called upon his military comrades, if you will, to help set up Troop 22. As I mentioned, it was set up on the pine tree system of camping. This is a picture out of the pine tree technique manual, if you will, and it shows a very orderly campsite with the tents in the background, and in the foreground where the kitchen, the mess equipment is being put together, all came on the carts, which are also shown in this picture. And those carts were really the key to the pine tree system of camping. This shows two of those carts with the camping gear on it being pulled by the 8 members of a standard patrol. This photograph was probably taken out near the lakefront in around, I would think, the 1940s from looking at it. This is another picture that I found in an album, and the reason I pulled it up is it shows my dad, who's second from the left, next to that fellow in white, and then 5th from the left is a young man who is my namesake, Charles Nelson, my father's younger brother. And so it shows they were both very active in Troop 22 in this time prior to the outbreak of the Second World War. This was an interesting photograph that was in the Times-Picayune, and it showed a group of about 50 scouts from the New Orleans area, and probably maybe a dozen or 2 dozen of those were from Troop 22. This was a picture on their departure for the World Jamboree of Scouting that was held in England in 1929. So it was a very interesting part for our community to have that many scouts going over, raise the money cetera, to spend that time going to the Jamboree in England. This shows another part of the scouting program regionally. This is at Camp Salmon over in Slidell, where weekend and summer activities were carried out for the regional scouting program. And this is back to Colonel Bedell. The reason I put it in here is that when the war was over, my dad returned from his occupation up in Shreveport, Louisiana, where he's working on Camp Claiborne, and Colonel Bedell, who was the scoutmaster for the Troop 22, and his son, this is John Bedell, who's a colleague of my father's. John was a year older than Waldemar, but the two scouts joined their scoutmaster in his engineering company and eventually evolved here in a few years later into Bedell and Nelson Engineers. Tori had asked me to explain something about the origin and the importance of scouting to the engineering company. And he's heard me say this before, but my dad told me that as the engineering company grew and it came time to begin discussions, find a banker, lawyer, insurance broker to help put together a benefits plan for the company, well, he often turned to the community that he knew from his scouting days, and not only from organizing the company, but also in actually carrying out the assignments that they had at that time, which was a growth period after the end of the war and the return of all the veterans home. So that was a very fundamental and a strong part of the scouting experience that I became aware of as I joined the company. This goes to about 1958, I believe. It's me standing in my Cub Scout uniform in the backyard, and I was a member of the Cub Pack organized at St. Andrew's Church, Pack 48, that also was part of the regional neighborhood program. As I graduated further into the Boy Scout program, I did join Troop 22, and that's a picture of the 3rd Patrol, of which I was a leader for a while, and I think I'm the second from the right of those scouts standing, again, with this trek cart that was used for the pine tree method of camping. This shows a drill that we would do in, it was really a speed drill to see who could set up the camp quickest, and each of the scouts had their own individual responsibility, and we used to practice that as part of our routine. This is another picture of the use of those old trek carts. These are the ones with the wooden tires, wooden wheels, if you will, steel rims, and these scouts are on something that was very important to Troop 22, which was a summer hike. We called it the 50-mile hike, which was conducted over a 2-week period. And with those carts, we would move from maybe as many as 6 to 7 campsites over a 2-week period. And with all of the gear in those carts and the equipment and the food, your backpack, tents and everything, it was a very effective way to cover a lot of ground and keep it well organized. This goes forward to later in my career with the scouting program. Here I was reading the names of recipients of the awards for the Cub Scouts. That Cub in the foreground with his back to me is my eldest son, who joined the Pack 48 again at St. Andrews, and the other members of the, as they call it, the committee there with me. It shows a picture of the group of the Cubs over in Audubon Park during one of the graduation ceremonies. Another picture I thought was funny was this cart that we built along a little bit different lines than the old Trek cart, because this was on pneumatic tires, so we could pull it over the road. We, again, had all of the gear packed efficiently in there, and we painted it blue and yellow as part of the Cub Scout program. This is a picture of me and my older son as he was involved in the Scouts at St. Dominic's Church in Lakeview. I think it was Troop 51. And this is him getting on their bus to go off to one of the camping experiences that they had in the, that would be 1990s time frame, before my son moved out of state to go to boarding school in New York. This is his younger brother and beginning his career in the Cub Scout program, again at PAC 48 at St. Andrew's Church. And this is me at what is called the bridging ceremony in Audubon Park. At the end of the Cub Scout program, the highest rank that a Cub could achieve is a Webelow, and that would be a point where they would graduate into the Boy Scout program. And this ceremony, called the bridging ceremony, was to commemorate and congratulate the boys that had gone through the Cub program, and really make that as a milestone for them in their scouting careers. This is the last slide. It shows, again, the bridging ceremony at the end, with the boys saluting and pledging allegiance to the flag. That I thought was a good way to end this slide deck, because it leads to an explanation of the value of the scouting program to those participants. The lessons that were learned, the skills that were provided, all of it very important. As I saw it, I saw it through my dad's experience, through my own experience, and through my son's experience, along with all of the others that were in those troops and packs that we were involved in. So scouting has been a very, very impactful part of my life. And again, I would like to thank the Southeast Louisiana Council for this opportunity to express my appreciation, really, for what you have done for the community. And I'd also like to thank all of those people who have supported this program, the virtual program that we're going to have to do this year, for your support in past years, and certainly in your financial support for the Southeast Louisiana Council. Thank you.
Jim Letton is the council president of the Southeast Louisiana Council, Boy Scouts of America, serving his third consecutive term since 2016. Professionally, he is an attorney with the law firm Butler Snow. Prior to retiring in December 2012, after more than 30 years of service to the Department of Justice, he had been the longest serving United States attorney in the nation, with almost 12 consecutive years, and was one of only 3 U.S. attorneys in the country appointed to the position by successive presidents from different parties. During a 40-year legal career, Jim has litigated literally hundreds of jury and bench trials in both federal and state courts. Jim Letton also served in the United States Naval Reserve for almost 20 years, having retired as a commander. During his service, Commander Letton was an intelligence officer specializing in foreign counterintelligence, and served as a fully credentialed NCIS agent for 13 of those years. A New Orleans native, Jim is married to Joanne Letton for 38 years, and they have 2 children, Erica and James, 2 Labrador retrievers, 2 cats, and lots of drums. Jim also worked for a decade at the National World War II Museum as a volunteer, restoring the PT-305. That's a Higgins Industries built 78-foot patrol torpedo boat, and it was restored to full seaworthy status. He also plays drums for local rock groups.
Good evening. Jim Letton here. It is so exciting and gratifying for me to be here with all of you and to be affiliated with scouting, certainly to have been scouting's council president for the last 3 years, which has been just an amazing experience and something that I'm grateful for, which I consider to be an unbelievable honor. And to receive this award, this incredible award, this Pillars of Scouting Award. Maybe most of all, to be sharing this award with an individual who I've known for so many years, and most of you all know, and who is a giant in this community, Charles Nelson. Charles has given so much to Louisiana, to New Orleans, to the people of this community, to our young people, to the programs in scouting. I can't say enough about him, and he is absolutely amazing, and it's gratifying for me to be standing virtually, figuratively, next to him. Pillars of Scouting is something that is extremely important to me, and means so much to me because of the incredible people previously that we've recognized. I mean, the traditions we've established here. Our first Pillars of Scouting, we recognized Jimmy Fitzmaurice, Ken Pickering, Frank Stewart, all of these individuals who have been just incredible heroes in our community. In the next one, no less than Joe Exnicius, who himself served as president of this council. Bill Metcalf, who has been just an engine in this community and a selfless hero to so many for so long, and who shared his heartwarming experiences with scouting as a young man. And of course, most recently, the legendary Boise Bollinger, himself a force of nature, just amazing powerhouse in the community, and Bill Oliver, truly a hero who gave us so much and who sadly passed away very shortly after that. But thankfully, after we had a chance to thank him just a little bit for what he's done. I have to also thank Pat Denishow. Pat, if you don't know her, you should, and most of you do. Pat has been a hero. Pat, again, has co-chaired this event and has made it possible, as she has so many countless others previously. And Pat, I have to say, and I was talking to Tori about this this morning, Pat is responsible for having raised over $1 million for the scouting programs here in this council. And Pat is absolutely amazing. Thank you, Pat. I've got it personally, and I think we all owe a debt of gratitude to the professionals who make scouting work, who make scouting what it is every single day in this incredible council. Ernesto Carballo, our scouting executive. Tori Hayden, who has just been amazing. Tracy Jones, Todd Connor, Nancy Allen, Matt Miller, Peaches Davis, Christy Schwest, and of course, Pat Nikes, our camp ranger. These folks are unsung heroes who don't ever and can't ever get enough credit for the work that they do, devoting their lives to scouting. The mission of scouting, that's why you're here. That's why you're part of this event. It's to support scouting's mission, or multiple missions. For over 100 years, scouting has provided young people, young men, and now young men and women, with character development, providing them skills, values, providing them with opportunities to develop themselves to become skilled in so many disciplines, whether it's Morse code, I'm dating myself, or boating, or shooting, or any number of things, including serving their communities. It provides them with values that will serve them for the rest of their lives, and it allows them to feel and experience love of country, love of God, love of family, and dedication and devotion to their teammates and to the other people whom they share their communities with. And these skills stay with them for the rest of their lives. They are unbelievable, because they, especially now in underserved communities, scouting increasingly, and especially I think in this council, provides those opportunities for our young men and our young women in inner cities, in areas where they don't otherwise have opportunities that they would normally be able to draw from. And it gives them the opportunity to become all they can possibly be and to realize their enormous potentials. And those are just some of the few reasons why Scouting has been so, so important to us. The challenges we have are evident right here in the way we're coming to you. We are coming to you virtually right now, certainly because of COVID-19 and because we are defeating COVID-19. We are navigating around it, over it, away from it. We are going forward despite the challenges we have. And Scouting has met for over 100 years and will continue to meet the challenges that is put before it because its mission is sound, its mission is sacred. We've had Scouting events conducted by this great council online. We've had a successful virtual summer camp, many online events, and we're going to continue to move forward until this is no longer necessary. But I have to applaud not only the Scouting staff, but especially all of you out there watching and the people you work with, the volunteers, the moms, the dads, the district volunteers, many of you who have been doing this for years, who give up your time, your energy, everything you have for these young men and women, because it's all about the Scouts. It's never about us, it's about the Scouts. And God bless you for doing that. For me, as I said, I am so grateful to be a part of this. It's been an incredible privilege for me, an honor beyond description. Scouting has been with me my entire life. As an 8-year-old, I very proudly became a Cub Scout in Pac 32 in New Orleans at St. Matthias School. And my father was our Cub Master. And then he later was very involved in leading our Boy Scout troop, in which I was involved. I was able, because of that great influence, I was able and inspired to become involved in Scouting when my son was a Cub, and I was Cub Master for a couple of years at that pack. And so the tradition goes on, but more importantly, the values and the strengths and the skills that Scouting gives us, gives our young people, can't be matched anywhere. And as I said, Scouting saves lives and it builds lives. And so with another thank you to all of you, each and every one of you, I just want to say thank you to Scouting. God bless Scouting. God bless America. Have a great evening.
Thank you again, Charles and Jim, for all you have done for our community. It is now my pleasure to introduce Ernesto Carballo. Ernesto is a Scout executive with the Southeast Louisiana Council and will tell us about Scouting in our area.
Good day. My name is Ernesto Carballo, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about the Council of the Boy Scouts of America. Every spring we conduct an event like this. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19, we haven't been able to do this in person. We miss this, and frankly, we'd rather have you here with us. Unfortunately, this is the new medium, the new normal, and we're having to deal with these challenges. I want to thank Jim and Charles for being honorees for this event, first time that we've done this. We want to thank all the volunteers out there that are virtually meeting with Scouts. Over 5,000 families are involved in Scouting in Southeast Louisiana, and more importantly, they continue to have Scouting. We've had to adjust to these new conditions, and we've had summer camp virtually, no swimming, no archery, no rifle range, but a lot of kids have learned incredible tasks and incredible different opportunities to be able to advance their future and become good parents and good citizens. For this reason, I want to thank you all for contributing and being part of this incredible venture that is called Scouting. By next year, we should be able to be live and in person, and we would love to have you at our fall events if we're able to, and our spring events that we have that are fundraising lifelines. This year's challenge has put us in a financial situation where scouting is going to be hurt throughout the year, and we hope to end up the next year without these headwinds. So thank you so much for being part of scouting, donating, and helping the families develop the youth of tomorrow. Thank you and have a good day.
We would like to thank Pat for doing such a wonderful job organizing this event under such extreme circumstances. Over the years, she has been a driving force, really ensuring that our Pillars of Scouting luncheons are spectacular each year. Hopefully next spring we will all be back in the Audubon Tea Room again. Our 2020 Pillars want to thank them, Jim and Charles, for allowing us to honor them and for all their years of service to our community and to the Scouts. And our major investors want to thank them and all those who invested at this time of the taping. I know there will be more coming in. And a special thank you to all of our volunteer leaders. There are approximately 2,000 of our adult leaders that we want to thank for all of their work with our Scouts. They make Scouting possible, and we sincerely thank each and every one of them. We also want to thank Chuck Mutz of Black Tie Auctions and a former Cub Master of a local pack. He did a great job coordinating our auction and helping us raise additional dollars. Also want to thank Pam Berrigan and her team at Showtime Rentals for helping us produce this virtual event. Both Chuck and Pam gave us a great Boy Scout friendly deal to help us out, and we thank them both. We also want to thank all of those invested in Scouting in this event. Those who donated, those who bought auction items, and those who continue to invest in Scouting. The online auction will be closing at 8, so there's still time to secure that item that you've always wanted. Thank you so much for participating, and we look forward to seeing everyone in person next spring. Dr. Paul Gregoire will now deliver the closing benediction.
Please prepare yourself in a manner in which you're accustomed to praying. Lord God, King of the universe, let us really be people who have been thankful for what we've experienced today. Let us be thankful in such a way that we'll be willing to help others who need that help. We've been so blessed and so gracious in the manner in which God has blessed us. May we be the blessings of others. Keep everyone safe, watch over them, and Lord, protect them in such a way that they may serve you through the Scouting program and also through every day of their lives. Amen.